Hey everybody out there, doing a new video today, and the title of this video is Spike's Tactical Lower Receiver completed. And I'm going to inform you right now, this is not an instructional video on how to build lower AR-15 lower receiver. This is just me explaining the process that I went through to finally complete for the first time ever my attempt at doing a lower receiver build. So that's what this video is on. So I'll let you know right now, if that's not what you want to watch, you gotta flip to something else. But anyway, I bought this Spike's Tactical stripped lower receiver last year, and it's the Calico Jack version. Paid $125 for it because it had the painted skull with the cross swords, and over here by your selector switch it's got plunder, parlay, and R like a pirate. And that's why I just used to dress up as a pirate at Renaissance days, so that's why I bought that one. They got plenty of other lower receivers with different themes to them. On the other side, you got the same thing, but $125 for a lower receiver wasn't too bad, especially from Spike's Tactical. So I finally got it completed today. Just got home a little while ago. I want to give a big shout out to two guys at the place called Wisconsin Tactical in Waukesha, Wisconsin. They charged me a fee, not too bad, and they were hands-on instructors. They basically just walked through it with me and watched me do it, and if I screwed something up or wasn't doing something right, they had me back off and explained everything that had to be done properly. So basically I did this myself with their help, and I'm really happy I finally did it. Never thought I'd own an AR-15. I've had an I've had a Wasser AK-47 forever, and always thought about buying an AR, and here I am building an AR. I didn't want your typical off the store shelf AR-15. I like little things customized, so that's what I'm doing. I'm customizing my own AR-15. Now today, when I was doing this build, the hammer spring, we use slave pins for the trigger spring and the hammer spring. The trigger spring went in fine. I had a jiggle around the hammer spring a little bit to line up the hole. Used a slave pin, finally got it through after a few attempts. My only other issue was dealing with the front takedown pin. I kept losing the detent in the spring when I had that little rod where you run the spring and the detent through, and you use to punch the hole in place and you spin it. And then when you try to push the pin through and push the other rod out, the spring, and of course you all know the detent goes flying. So after about a dozen tries, I finally got the takedown pin in. Now I went to another website on the internet. It's called Wisconsin Tactical, and I got myself the skull with the cross swords in a nice blue, and that's my trigger guard. And this trigger guard with the pins, one of them gets screwed in, and the other one you have to typically put it in the way you normally any AR-15 is done. But Tactical Expressions has numerous colors and versions of the trigger guard and takedown pins and charging handles. So I am going to go back to them when I decide to change out my takedown pins, and when I finally either completely build my upper receiver, or if I purchase a upper receiver it's completed, which I've seen some really nice ones for like 500. I'll be changing the takedown pins. So the trigger assembly, and here's a Spikes Tactical standard trigger assembly, and that came with that hand grip. I probably might change that. I might have something done, some design put on there. And that's the Magpul 30 round typical AR-15 magazine. And I might have this Duracoated sapphire blue to go along with everything else. Get that back in there. There we go. So when I was putting this together, like a lot of people for the first time doing AR-15 lower receivers, they usually scratch things along the side of the receiver. I put tape on, masking tape, so I could get the pins in without scratching it. Now there is a scratch right around here. That was on the lower receiver when I bought it. I didn't think nothing really much about it. But like I say, the hammer spring fought me for a little bit, and so did the front takedown spring. I think this looks really cool. I am so happy I finally decided to get my feet wet and take the plunge and build an AR-15 lower receiver. This is a Magpul 6th position buttstock. I might keep this one. I'm going to keep this one for now, see how I feel getting used to it. And then they have a wide variety of buttstocks, so who knows how long I'll keep this on, or if I even change it. My buffer tube. My buffer tube is, I'll give a shout out to a shop called Northwoods Firearms in northern Wisconsin. He Duracoated that sapphire blue, and he did a really nice job, and he did not charge me very much for that. So when I get my upper receiver, I am going to send him the foreguards and have them Duracoated sapphire blue. So I think I'll make a nice color combination. Just as doing the blue to offset the black. You know, you see all your black. You say black guns, lives matter. You know, but I want a little blue in mine. And see, I've talked about the trigger assembly. It's a standard. My buffer is a standard buffer, and as everybody knows, you can switch out your buffers at any time, so I'm going to get it adjusted to the buffer. I changed out the plate behind the castle nut so I can attach a sling to my AR. The first plate that I got did not have a sling attachment on it, so I swapped that out because I want to put a sling on this AR. I want to say to everybody that builds AR-15s, and you're not a professional gunsmith or something, I give you props for having the patience to put these together, because with the detents and the springs flying and everything else, you really have to be patient, and you really have to be cautious, because you don't want to bend the spring, like the spring that goes underneath the hand grip, or the spring right behind the castle nut, or in front of the castle nut, I mean. You know, you bend those or you lose those. Let's say the spring and the detent up here in the front takedown pin, that was a challenge, but I kept at it, didn't give up, and there's the final results. So we talked about the Magpul magazine, Spikes Tactical trigger assembly, Tactical Expressions trigger guard, Magpul buttstock, buffer tube with the standard buffer. I have purchased 223 rounds, so this thing is ready to be shot. All I have to do is get my button gear and either build a upper receiver or buy a completed one. But now that I've built the lower receiver, I'm starting to get an inkling to go ahead and build the upper one. Josh over there said the upper one is not as bad as doing the lower receiver, so I'll weigh my options. To everybody watching this video, please leave your suggestions, what you think I might do. Leave any kind of comment as well, positive or negative. I'll respond to you. I always like there's communication between our viewers. If you're the first time ever seen a video by me, and you want to leave a comment, feel free to do that. And if you might even want to become a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. I always can appreciate new subscribers, and anybody that likes this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. Mostly I'd like you guys to leave comments and suggestions so I know where I'm at and what you all think of this. Last thing I want to say is something I always say to everybody: when you're out at the range, always be smart, shoot straight, have a great time while you're shooting, safety first, and take care of yourselves. And again, everybody for watching this, thank you so much. Have a great day and take care.